Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Help promote and rank up my channel. So Supernatural is developing a prequel, The Winchesters, in the works at the CW from Jensen Ackles and Danneel Ackles. Up front, before I even read this article, I'm going to drop over here. Padalecki bummed about Supernatural prequel news, but urges don't send any hate.
Don't lie to me again. Don't even talk to me.
Jared did not know a damn thing about this.
Sorry, Sam.
Either one hell of a prank which these guys like to play on each other, or shit just got real.
Dean, I can't even be around you right now. Okay, so I think you should just go on without me.
I've watched this entire show. I'm aware of the kind of backdoor spin-offs they've tried to do and everything. I've watched this show from beginning to end. I always thought that the first 5 seasons were the best, but they handed off to new showrunner after new showrunner, and it got a little bit convoluted and messy. And this is kind of surprising that they're talking about developing a prequel series based on the parents, because they did explore a lot of that in their own series with kind of Back to the Future time travel antics. So Supernatural, one of the most important series in the history of the CW, is eyeing to come back in a new iteration with the prequel, The Winchesters, centered on Dean and Sam Winchester's parents. The project, now in development at the network, is executive produced by Supernatural star Jensen Ackles, who will also reprise his role as Dean Winchester character as a narrator of the new show, and Ackles' wife, Supernatural recurring guest star Danneel.
What's the plan?
Working on it.
Epic untold love story of how John met Mary and how they put it all on the line to not only save their love but the entire world. After Supernatural wrapped its 15th season, we knew it wasn't over because, like we say in the show, nothing ever really ends, does it? Jensen Ackles told Deadline when his wife and I formed Chaos Machine Productions. We knew the first story we wanted to tell was the story of John and Mary Winchester, or rather the Supernatural origin story. Always felt like my character Dean would have wanted to know more about his parents' relationship and how it came to be, so I love the thought of having him to take us on this journey. It's a bit weird to me for several reasons. I've already explored this type of stuff. How much can you flesh it out? Are you going to get the exact same actors back to reprise their roles as these characters, the younger versions? Ackles have been working on the Winchesters with Chaos Machine head of development Renee Rife. Supernatural, which ended its 15th season run last fall, starred Jensen and Jared as brothers Dean and Sam, who hunt demons, ghosts, monsters. John and Mary were played on the show by Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Samantha Smith. Mary was killed by a demon when Sam was still a baby. Investigating their death, John became a hunter, passes on his knowledge and skills to his son. John was a recurring character in the first season and died in season 2. He is the longest running sci-fi genre series in the history of American broadcast television. The show enjoyed a loyal following and strong support at the network. The CW made 2 previous attempts to launch a Supernatural spinoff with Bloodlines, Wayward Sisters. Both were introduced as backdoor pilots and went absolutely nowhere. Let's look at some of these comments. I love the Supernatural, but I don't think this idea works. John never knew Mary was a hunter or even what that meant. It should be about a young Sam and Dean growing up in the life.
For whatever reason, our life is a TV show. Why? I don't know. No, seriously, why?
Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work either. Obviously, CW is very woke, and they would be all about that woman power. So this would likely be John living in the dark while Mary hunts or whatever. I don't know exactly how they would handle this. But let's go over and see how Jared Padalecki is bummed about Supernatural prequel news, but urges don't send any hate.
Dude, could you be more gay?
Not in public.
So Padalecki appeared unaware of it until Deadline broke the news about the project Thursday afternoon. Dude, I'm happy for you. Wish I heard about this some other way than Twitter.
Put up with a lot from you.
What you talking about? I'm a joy to be around.
Yeah.
Padalecki wrote with a retweet of Deadline story. I'm excited to watch, but bummed that Sam Winchester had no involvement whatsoever. And that does seem pretty shitty.
Sam! This discussion does not require a weapons discharge.
Fans were confused by Padalecki's reaction and thought he was joking about being blindsided. He was not. This is the first I've heard about it, he said in a follow-up tweet Thursday night. I'm gutted.
Let's go. You get a freebie. Hit me. Come on.
Padalecki's comments whipped Supernatural fans into a frenzy, prompting the actor to appeal for calm and civility on Friday morning. Please, don't send any hate or threats, he wrote on Twitter. I care deeply about everybody involved and would be in true misery if any of them were harmed or threatened. There's no way this goes over well now. His actual tweets, you can see that he's just shocked, he's baffled, he's disappointed. Let's take a look down here in the comments section. Makes sense, he is not involved, as the true love story between Mary and John was from before he could even walk. Only Dean was there to witness that and told the fire. Granted, he was a very small child at that, but given his 15-year involvement in the show, he should have gotten a hint and not read it like the rest of us on Twitter. It will not be the Winchesters if Sam's not there too, so Jensen needs to think about that. The two brothers is what makes the Winchesters. Wow, for 15 years I've watched Supernatural having a spinoff on the CW called The Winchesters, with Dean Winchester doing the narrating of the show, producing the show with his wife, and not including Sam Winchester in this production is horrific in my opinion. Jared Padalecki finds out online. Inexcusable. I thought Jensen Ackles and Jared were truly friends like brothers. You just don't treat someone you worked with as brothers on the most successful show the CW has had and not include them in this project. Supernatural had brothers that were Winchesters fighting evil, a show about their parents, and only one son is involved is a slap in the face of Supernatural. I, for one, will not be watching it and watching the second season of Walker. Boo. Hiss. Jensen Ackles. Both these guys are dead and in heaven now. It would make sense for either one of them to be narrating it or talking about it as the events unfold, maybe watching from heaven or some watching the past, or I don't know. This all sounds strange to me because we know what happens to these characters. We know what happens to Mary and John Winchester. We know what goes down there. Unless you're doing like some kind of alternate universe, take some kind of multiverse version of the characters, there's not a lot of room for tension or a lot of things. I mean, these characters aren't in any danger at all. They're Sam and Dean girls. They're Sam girls. They're Dean girls. You're going to have a lot of people split on this, be against it, and some all for it. This just sounds like a Disney Star Wars movie in a way. I mean, I would absolutely love to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan and all these characters back, and like young Bobby, young Rufus, maybe like young Ellen. Some of these characters come into play, but it's a weird move. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Fake Goodwin here. Eventually we will like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Stay awesome. Rock on.